Let's get to our friend Chuck Todd really quickly. All right, so we're a week out from this thing. This is going to be, this one we say, oh, this is a lot of stakes, this one matters. This one feels like it does have the potential to have a real impact here. Is it come at a better time for Joe Biden or for Donald Trump? Who needs it more?
I think there's no doubt Joe Biden needs this more right now. Yeah, I mean, you could make a case that I was always surprised how quickly Donald Trump agreed to this because, you know, the candidate trailing is the one that needs it. I know there's a Fox poll out that shows him ahead, but we both know body language can tell you whether they believe polls or not. The Biden campaign wants this debate badly. They see it as a necessity. And I think they see it as a necessity because, and the summer is just lost. You know, this is the, you know, you either try to have this conversation in September when school started and people are, and suddenly the fall campaign is a sprint, or you try to be the last word before the summer fully begins. And so I get what they were looking for. And there's one other aspect. We're so fragmented as a media. You know, Joe Biden, all the interviews he's done, he's still only penetrated about 40% of the country. This debate is at least a chance for him to talk to the other 60%, shall we say. And frankly, Trump needs the same thing. And so in an odd way, that's where they were aligned, right? We are so fragmented. Both candidates live in their own bubbles, and yet it's these voters that aren't in their tribes that they need to get to the president.
Yeah, who only see the sort of manipulated media that may come through their echo chambers of sort. Can I ask you a quick aside here, which was today they had a coin toss, right? Yeah. And we learned that Joe Biden won the coin toss and decided Donald Trump can go last, he'll get the last word, but Joe Biden decided to sit to be on the right side of the frame as you're looking at the screen. I assume why would that was just interesting. That was surprising. I thought you would want the last word if you had a choice.
All right, I'll make a television confessional here. Yeah. You know, at this round table, sometimes you interview people off camera this way or you interview them this way. Yeah. I was just more comfortable leaning this way and leaning to my left rather than leaning on this way. It was just awkward. So I guess in that sense, somebody might have a preference. Yeah. But I do think the last word issue, why did Biden not care about having the last word? Because the debate, people might have already tuned out by that.
Done by
yeah, exactly. You know, in the last 10 minutes of the debate, people might not pay attention to. Think about how many times fireworks happened at the end of the debate, but it didn't have a penetration because most people watch just the first half of a debate.
And so the other thing that's different here, right, is in the past you remember, oh, will you shut up, man, was the sort of defining moment of one of the debates between these two guys, which, by the way, was 1,300 plus days ago since either of them debated here. I'm sort of struck by that because you're not going to have that kind of bickering between the two, as you would think, right? It's supposed to be a soundbite 2 minutes, so to speak.
This is a blind spot for the left in general, I would say, and the Biden campaign specifically. There's this fantasy land that the left lives in sometimes that, oh, you can just sort of deplatform Trump. You can sort of mute him. You can make him go away, and somehow he will not have this power over persuasion over people. And it's always been a head scratcher to me. I think the more you're exposed to Trump, the more you might be uncomfortable with it. I think pushing companies to deplatform him right after January 6th turned out to be a mistake. And I think muting the mics, I think the Biden campaign is going to regret this. It's those moments of crosstalk that frustrated Biden that might have won him those debates. Yeah. So I think when you're protecting Trump from himself, you're doing Trump a favor.
This is
and I think they've done him a favor.
I have the same sort of instinct on that. Let me ask you about the latest column that you wrote, and I want to put some of it up on the screen for our audience. You write in part, one of the greatest disconnects in the coverage of Trump today is the lack of memory the public has for many of the details of the Trump years, as opposed to the scarred memories those of us who covered Trump still have. Thanks to the pandemic and the human mind's ability to memory hole unhappy periods, a large chunk of the public has simply forgotten about the daily chaos Trump intentionally created with his presidency. We hear that, right? For a lot of Americans, it's like Trump is pre-COVID, Biden's post-COVID. COVID sort of is erased in their mind altogether. And they don't remember that sort of madness as we witnessed on some days.
And I want to connect it to the current campaign messaging problem that I think the Biden campaign has. And I'll say a challenge, not a problem, because it's a difficulty. And that is, to me, the most disqualifying part of his presidency was his leadership in COVID. The exact period that the voters want to hear nothing about. And whether it's, you know, and in order to try to relitigate that, you'd have to bring people to a period they don't want to talk about. And I think a lot of voters have decided, and this is something that's benefiting Trump, well, any presidency could have been paralyzed by this. Any presidency could have, you know, and he, for some reason, and frankly, it's been this way for a lot of political leaders on COVID. It's not just that, you know. So I think that's a real challenge for them, and I think that's why they've gone down the democracy road. But you know, the real problem they have is the reason Trump lost re-election was his leadership during COVID, and we were all locked down at the time, and we were mad at how the government was handling this, and there was only one head of government to take our anger out on at the time. And I think the problem is that they've learned the wrong lessons from how they won. And right now it looks like the 2016 campaign all over again. And we know how that one ended.
And another good reminder that the month that that Joe Biden took over from Donald Trump, more Americans died in that month than any other month of the entire pandemic. I mean, that was a defining era. So if that's erased, it changes the stakes a lot. Chuck, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.